more fans, players, and anyone who bleeds, drink, breathe Villanova basketball. Shane Clark, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So, it's good to see you, and it's good that we stayed in touch over the years, and I got to see your beautiful marriage blossom. You grew your family, and it's nice. It's nice, especially from being on the team and seeing you as a freshman coming in with that smile. I know you got that smile still. You got
Always.
Yeah. So, I was looking at the team, and yeah, we had a little ups and downs. A few losses, but we went back and we had some strong showings now, despite the Creighton loss. We came back and we played St. John's again for the second time, and we kind of let them know, the first game, good job, you got us, but now let's get things back to how they're supposed to be, and that was a pretty emphatic win there. What do you think so far about how the team is doing?
I think I tell people this every day, every time somebody texts me, I'm like, this team is really good. They're really talented. Coming off the bench, they just got weapons, and they kind of remind us of our 2009 team, where we just had the bench and we had the starting lineup with talent. These guys are really good, and they play hard. They play together, and they're doing everything what Coach Wright preach about, right? Like, go out there, just play, give it all you got, and they got a great leader and Colin, and like they're just playing all out basketball. And I love the way they're playing. They're so much fun to watch too, because they could put up 80 points if they could, if they wasn't slowing the ball down with 7 minutes to go in the second half. But they're really good. They're really fun to watch, and I think they got a really good chance of doing something special this year.
I think that's something special that you said and unique. Not every team has talent from top to bottom, and meaning the starters and with firepower and talent coming off the bench. And I think people got used to Villanova teams having these great studs, 2, 3 pros, like knockdown pros. And you say, oh man, yeah, this team has 2, 3 pros right now. The difference is, it would kind of remind me when we used to play against West Virginia when Coach Beeline was there, and they had Kevin Pittsnoggle. They had Pittsnoggle. They had another player called Herbert. They had Beeline. Son was there. Gainsey was there. And I remember what made that team tough was I couldn't help that much defensively because Pittsnoggle would drag me into the three-point line. Well, I couldn't just focus. We couldn't just focus on Pittsnoggle because they had 3 other guys that can drive, shoot it. And I think this team is that, but better, because we have 8, 9 deep that can put the ball in a basket. And I think what that does, that exploits another team's defensive walls, and overall just gives some type of exploitation that plays in our favor.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. I actually remember that game because that was the first game where I played over like 15, 18 minutes. I was like, whoa, why I'm playing so much? And I remember because everyone could shoot on that team. It was crazy. Like, I was guarding like every person every time I came in. I was like, I remember just going back to the dorm and I just passed out because I was that exhausted. That team was really good. And this team does that, but I think even better because no matter who touched the ball, like you said, they can score, man. And it's just, every time I see a shot go, I'm like, oh, that's good. Like, it's unreal. And they're gonna go a long way if they keep shooting the way they are.
And that's why I see it. I think the good thing is when you're in the tournament, usually you don't depend on your shooting. Mm-hmm. You depend on grinding it out, and you can depend on your defensive effort. Mm-hmm. And what we're starting to see their defense evolve right before our eyes. And it's happening gradually where I think a lot of people are missing it. We're starting to get better and better, or I should say, players are starting to figure out what to do defensively for each other to get a stop. So talk a little bit more about the similarities in that 09 run that you guys had.
I think what made us so good that me, Dwayne, Dante, and even Reggie, all four of us could just rotate and guard somebody. And then when Antonio Pena came in, he was able to do the same thing. Like we were all able like just to guard either a guard or a center. And that was unique about us. And we grinded out games. And I see the same thing with this team. Like they grind and they make you play the whole shot clock. And once you miss, that's it. I barely see a other team grab an offensive rebound, but I see our guys still going in for rebounds and still getting it. And I just see the same thing that we used to do, and they're playing even on a higher level than we did.
Man, we have Butler coming up. They have the Butler game coming up. Now here's the interesting thing about Butler. Butler they're 8-13 overall. They're 7-11 in the Big East, right? Okay. Yep. Here's what people are missing. Butler is also 7-4 at home. So that tells you, they're 7-4 at home, and there were their one game. I want to say they're 1-7-4 at home. I want to say 1-8. No, that wouldn't match up. But they have one road win, and here it is. We're playing them at home. They won their last game. I think on paper it doesn't look like a big matchup for us. It doesn't look as if it's something that we really have to be on our P's and Q's. But again, you got to remember, if you're a team, we've been through rebuilds or we've been through lulls within our careers. When you're that team, and you have a nationally ranked team, a top 10 team coming in Villanova, number 8, that's something that you're prepared for. And then you're confident because you're playing at home. Do you remember that certain times when Coach Wright would ask us, hey, do you want to play at the Pavilion or do you want to play down? For me, it was the Wells Fargo Center. You know, that's what it was called at the time. And they'll ask different questions. And you remember how you felt playing on campus. Yeah. Then it went to it was Wachovia first, then went Wells Fargo. So I think, what do you think about this matchup coming with Butler? What do you think about the state of the team mentally and going into this game? Like, what would you advise, them to do to stay focused and to make sure that we don't get caught up in that trap game?
Obviously, it's the Big East. So, to me, when I was playing, and as you know, every game was a big game for us because I was like, Seton Hall could beat us tonight. That could happen. St. John's could beat us tonight. Like there were teams, DePaul could beat us. Right. Like we've been beat by DePaul before. Like that happens once you relax. And I don't see no relaxation with this team. It's always grinding out, doing what they always do, play 40 minutes, rebound, shoot, just continue to play the way you play, even if you're playing Butler. And Butler is a scrappy team. I watch Butler a lot. I watch a lot of Big East teams a lot because they're just fun to watch, and it's the Big East. And I'm happy UConn back too. I just had to throw that out. But those guys just need to continue to, grind it out, play 40 minutes, and keep shooting the ball. And they'll take care of business. And I'm sure you remember those speeches back then when you used to play those teams where like there's not enough people in the stands, and Coach Wright like, all right, here go one of those games. It might not be a lot of people here, but this team gonna come in. They're gonna try to kick it, and then so get out there and be ready. And that's what we did. And and this team does that. Like they never play relaxed. I haven't seen it one game yet. It might be foul trouble or something. The next guy is ready to come up and play. So I think they got this under control, and they just need to continue what they're doing.
Yeah, I really like the poise of this team, especially considering certain key members of the team are young. You don't really get that sense speaking to them. You get actually a sense of maturity, and I think that's what's unique about this team than the competition, or even unique about this team than your typical Villanova basketball team. Usually have more senior leadership in terms of individuals that are upperclassmen. But, I really like the attitude, and the character is the word of this team. Let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with the Bet Rivers yet, now's the time. Bet Rivers Sportsbook is offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one play through to turn your bonus into cash. When you win at Bet Rivers Sportsbook, they pay fast. And now it's even faster with the Rush Pay instant approval for withdrawals. It's safe, it's secure, and it's reliable. With March Madness right around the corner, there's never been a better time to give Bet Rivers Sportsbook a try. Go to betrivers.com. That's BETRIVERS.com today. Or download the Bet Rivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call TEL 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah.
But talking about attitude and character, right? Attitude is right there, our foundation. Shane, I'm so glad that things worked out and that you're a Wildcat, and therefore you're a Wildcat for life. Tell everybody about the story, how you almost became a Terp.
Yeah. So I remember I'll say like midway summer where Kyle just texted me and like, yo, don't come here. Don't come here. And I'm like, why? I'm like, just don't come here. And there's so many details behind it and that I want to get into, but I was like, all right, like, Georgetown looking at me, Syracuse wanted me, Maryland was really up there, NC State. I had a bunch of schools. So I went to Maryland, loved it, loved Coach Williams. He was there at the time. It was another freshman there that was coming in, but we would have been the only two freshmen coming in. I was like, this is perfect. I come in, I learn behind. You remember DJ Strawberry?
Yeah.
What's the other kid? Nick Kenameli or something like that. They had just a bunch of guys that were really good. And I remember three of them was like McDonald's All-American. And I was like, I could learn from these guys and I'm ready. One kid named Michael Jordan, he was there. He was really good. And I was coming in behind these guys and they were like, listen, we'll teach you. I hung with DJ a lot. That was my boy when I got to Maryland. Like he taught me everything, like how to work out, what to eat, stuff like that. And then next thing you know it, there was some stuff with my transcript and they were like, yeah, you can't go to class right now until we figure out.
Right, it was a form that wasn't filled out.
Yeah, it was a form. That's it.
Right. Something they had to do with you. Right.
Yeah, it was a class missing that you had to put on my transcript that I got like a B in and I was been playing. So Dave Distel, my coach, came and got me, begged for them to let me go because they wouldn't release me. So he begged them, listen, let him go. He's going to look somewhere else. Georgetown was still wanted me to come there if I wanted. And then obviously we reached out to Jay Wright and see, what he think about me coming back. And I remember he had me sit in a room with all the coaches and just explaining why I wanted to come back and why I wanted to be fun. And I was like, oh, this is awful.
Especially man. For you.
For me, like I was quiet, like
right
then, and that wasn't me. I just go out and play like basketball, and that's what I love. And I didn't mean to, hurt, Jay Wright about like uncommitting and going somewhere else. I just did that because I was young, not thinking, like my best friend telling me one thing and, everything was just, I didn't have that guidance. So I was happy that coach was accepted and let me come back and play with you guys. And, that's how it all happened. We got the transcript good. I came in, first game against Temple, and I was ready to go. But it was definitely, that's from midsummer to getting with you guys in December. Right. That was tough. And not being able to play from that time, like I really had to sat back and I remember just being in my room and just like thinking like, wow, I'm not playing right now. Like, this is weird. Like, I'm never going to let this happen again, no matter what. And I was thankful that coach was able to bring me back.
So, you know what I was always curious about, because you're so quiet and reserved, at the time, you've grown so much, you'll share your journey post-basketball. But before we get to that point, how was it for you? Because people don't realize we had personalities on the team. You had myself, you had Randy, you had A-Ray, who's A-Ray, and then you had Kurt, then Nardi was there and Bump was there. Then you had Kyle was another personality. You had all of this going on. How was it for you as a freshman coming in? Like, tell me, like, what did you think? Like, how did you take everything in?
Just knowing like everyone was good. Like I wasn't the only person that played like a high level in high school. Like all you guys are good. Like you, Randy, Alan Ray, like you guys are good. And my mind coming into practice, I was nervous every day. Just like, all right, I'm gonna get my butt kicked today. Let me just go out there and play hard and show these guys like I'm with you. Like I could play on your level too. And it was just every day was just like nervous for me coming into practice and games. And then once like the year started coming around, like I started getting like my feet wet. I obviously Kyle was a good influence for me. Randy was, because Randy was just so like laid back and low key, but he got it done on the floor. And then I had you like preaching like onto like us on the bench to me, Bilal, Dante, just telling us like what we had to do. I think you guys had all the pieces for us just to like talk to us on the side and help us out, and that helped me a lot. But yeah, it was every day was nervous for me, like just coming in and like trying to like get to you guys' level, because I wanted to be everything y'all needed. At the same time, I'm like, are these guys gonna let me like go out here and play? So I was just like, it was a whole balancing thing for me coming in as a freshman, because I'm coming off like Shane scoring 30 here, like playing high school here, and like coming in and y'all guys done all that, but y'all playing on a higher level and doing it too. So it was nervous for me for the first freshman year, but I was thankful to have like again you, even Kurt like being hurt, like he was there. Yo, Shiz, yo, do this next time you go down the floor, or this on defense. Like just having him around, sitting there all the time, just like to point out little things that I could have done differently, helped me a lot.
Yeah, it's always interesting just to hear a different perspective, see, because I can only speculate what it felt like for you, but it's nothing like hearing, from that individual in itself, because you were great. You just so steady. You were just so steady. And what I liked about you was you had the healthy D1 college athlete ego, but at the same time, I never felt like you ever stepped outside of the team concept. You was always about the team, even though, I mean, you can ball. Like I remember my attitude, you were young, you end up growing more from there, obviously, but you're a freshman, you were young my last year there. And I remember just thinking, like when we were in practice, man, we tried to obliterate one another. I mean, it was like war, and that's why I asked you, I want to know what it felt like for you. We try, but part of, I'll give you this. Have you ever considered this? If I'm good, if Rainey's good, if you're good as a player, you respect a freshman coming, they could play. You're not trying to be embarrassed by them. Mm-hmm. You're not trying to, you get what I'm saying? You're not trying to have everyone talk about you in the locker room. So that was even more added pressure to play that much harder, not to let you guys get the upper hand, because you guys were good. We knew we knew you were going to be good. I know we talked about it a little bit before. Go take us through the start of your senior year and explain how that finished. And if I stand corrected, I believe you guys finished with the most wins by any particular class at that time. Speak about that whole entire senior year, how everything came to fruition, if you could, to the best of your ability.
Yeah. I think early on the year, starting in, actually, it started in the summer when Lon Record, our old athletic director, was just, he made sure we stayed in shape. That was key. Like, can we last all the way up until April? Like, and our workouts, the football field, the flipping tires, like, and he conditioned us. And starting there, like in the summer, where we did like this drill, and the seniors got to call the timeout when we had to do this drill. You go up and back. I think it was called 22. And I remember like you had to do that the number stands for, so 22, you had to go up and back 22 times, and you get 2 timeouts to use. And Dante had his group, I had my group, and Dwayne had his group.
Right.
And that's how we were all split up. And we just like, I think over the summer, us three just came together like, yo, we got to use our timeouts wisely if we're going to like be able to get everyone across. And like, we got to figure a way how to get everyone across the line. Because we didn't, we had to do like, I think we had to do it all over again. So I think us coming together early in the year, in the summer, just like how we got that bond. We're like, all right, we know what to do now. And our communication just got better and better. And then we got the preseason and we knew how to communicate. Like Dante knew how to talk to me. I knew how to talk to Don, or Dwayne stepped in and like said his little piece. And then we just knew how to come together and like talk to each other and how to win these games. And even we were on the bench with 5 fouls, like still communicate with us and let us know what we should have done better or something like that. And I think communication was key for us in being conditioned coming into the season was, I think really helped us. And then over like December, January, February, started getting to the Big East. And then we figure out like, all right, now we know who we are. Now we know what to do. We started getting tighter. We started winning more games. Like we had those games where we lost to like West Virginia because somebody got hot. And we learned from that. We watched film, see what the defensive mistakes were, you know, how we do film every day after games and stuff like that. And we just got better from that. And then we communicated more. And then we have talks with Jay Wright, like it would be me, Dante, Dwayne, and he'll huddle Scotty and Reggie. And we'll just huddle up and say, you got to get these guys going now because you know this game is big. And then us 5 will just communicate to the team and we'll show it on the court. And around, I would say like Big East time, we were ready and we were playing really good basketball. Unfortunately, we lost to Georgetown again in my career 2 times trying to get to the championship, but we knew like we still had we had something special. Ended up getting a good seed. I think we were 3 or 2. And then once we got to the tournament, everything just clicked. Like the way we were playing, it was like Shane doing this, Dwayne doing this, Dante hustling here, like, and then we were scoring on top of that. Like everything was, once we got to the tournament, everything connected, came together. We were blowing people out. Like that's right. Obviously, we was down early to American University in the first half, but we was like, all right, let's get back to what we do. Hustle, score, Scotty do this, Reggie do that. Like we got back together in the second half of that game, and then we just clicked and we blew out until we got to Pittsburgh, which was a #1 team in the country.
Right.
The whole year,
right.
And we was fortunate to beat them earlier, and we learned from that game. We knew what to do coming. Like when that game came up, we knew what to do. We knew the game plan. We knew DeJuan Blair was going to kill us inside if we didn't rebound. We knew Sam Young was going to kill us if we didn't like have our hands up, deflect and like make him like take tough shots. And they just had a really good team. And I think we were fortunate to play them early, to learn about them so early that once we got to them, we were able to, you know, sneak out there with a win with Scotty big shot. So I think just us having communication early in the summertime all the way through the season, we built the relationship on communication, and that helped us tremendously, I think, for our senior year. And I wouldn't want any different than that. I know we came up short, but it was still fun, man. And we, all of us, like me, Dante, Dwayne, Reggie, still this day, we still communicate with each other and like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? Like, and we just created that bond. And, as you know, that's there forever, that brotherhood, because we created that communication, like, yo, we could do something special this year. And we did that early in the summer and we just kept it going. And I think, I wouldn't change it. it helped me grow, it helped them grow. And you can see now, like most guys are like doing well for themselves now,
Right.
because we just toured each other so much and grinded it out. And we're fortunate to have a guy like Jay Wright teach us how to be a man off the court and what to do on the court. And it just brought us a long way. And my senior year was it was something special, and I would never take I wouldn't want any differently.
Yep. And so you said something just now. You said how Coach Wright taught you how to be man and how you guys are successful from that squad. Tell everyone what you've been up to the last 10 years. You're humble with it, but I like to brag about it because I think it's important. Go ahead.
Yeah, I played overseas a couple years. Came home, started internship at Shire Pharmaceuticals, doing sales. Came over to United States Liability Insurance, and now I'm just learning about like the business side of stuff and like how companies run and like just things I didn't know because I was so in tune with the basketball world. Now I know I've been here 8 years. So it's been like 10 years now, 10, 11 years now where I'm on the corporate or business side of the world. And like, I'm still learning. I'm 35 and I'm still learning about this business world, how things are, how things change. I got 2 daughters now. That really makes you grow up, as you know, in a heartbeat. Yes. But yeah, I think what Jay did was, hey, make sure you do this. Make sure you do this the right way. Like, because if you don't, it'll come back to haunt you. Like, take care of your family. Like, pay your bills. Like, all this stuff he preached to me after I graduated. And, at the time, because he knew the girl I was dating, that's my wife now, sitting right in front of me. He was like, I heard you're dating a lawyer, Shizzy. I was like, yeah. I was like, you better be good to her. And that's the way he is. He's like a man. He's like, take care of her. Like, and that helped me a lot through like after basketball. Like every time I talk to him, it's just something like, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Or he'll throw ideas at me and stuff like that. And I'm really grateful that we still have this relationship to this day, that he's able to go out and or reach out to me and say like, hey, what's going on? How's the family and stuff like that? And he might mention the ideas to me, and like that's just all him looking out for us. And I'm sure he does that to everyone else, but I'm still thankful that he does stuff like that for me and continue to teach me how to be a better person, and like not a better man, I say a better person.
Right. Right. No, that's definitely all important, and I'm appreciating more of what he does as an individual coach, a head coach, and what the organization does as a staff. Because me coaching, being the head now for 3 seasons, I had 2 classes that graduate, and I still stay up with the players. But I couldn't imagine, like, after 4 or 5 years, you have so many people that you try to stay in touch with. And I think he does a great job of doing that, where, you're saying, look, I get the attention I get, it seems like I'm maybe the only person, and I think many of us would say the same thing. But in closing, what would you like to share? 2 things. What would you like to share with the fans? Your parting thoughts on the team, Nova Nation. And then the second thing is, what advice would you give current players, especially underclassmen? No, you know what, underclassmen and seniors, like what exact advice would you give, being someone who went through a growth process where things didn't come easy, and you grind and you were consistent, and then you had a great finish to your senior year? What are Nova Nation and then the player?
Obviously, thank you to all the fans. to this day, I'm still shocked. I get recognized like Shane Clark. Oh, you were my favorite back then. Like I appreciate that everywhere we go. And I just I want to say thank you to them. They helped me grow at the same time. And to the current guys, it's a grind. Life is a grind. So you just keep pushing. You keep your head down. You keep working hard. Because you never. I thought I'm thinking in high school, college, NBA, but life is different now, and being at Villanova helps prepare you for that. And I don't know if other colleges are like that. They just like focus on basketball and that's it. But me being at Villanova helped me to grow, network, all that good stuff. But I say to the current and the senior guys, to grind out there. Life is a grind. Keep your head down. If you do the right thing when you can, and good things will happen. And I'm blessed to have a beautiful family, a good life. Like I'm really blessed from where I came from in life to where I'm at now. The life could be changing in a heartbeat, and you just gotta be ready for it. And thankfully, I was able to have those tools in my life from the people I met to help me be where I'm at today. So thank you for everyone. Thank you for the fans. Obviously, you, Jay Frey. Just thankful for all the people in my life to help me be a better person.
And I know, lastly, like you said it before, thank that wife, that's there to
exactly
that glue to keep everything together.
Yeah.
Shane, Shiz, man, thanks for joining us at Blueblood in the Mainline. We end the show one way only. I started, you finish it. Once a Wildcat,
always a Wildcat.
V's up, baby. All right, I'll speak to you. Okay.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you.